And welcome to BMA's Book Marketing Pro Academy Industry Update. I am actually alone today because Athena's a little under the weather. And so, why do we say that, under the weather? Anyway, she's not feeling great. So I'm going to go ahead and launch into our industry update. So if you're here with me, go ahead and say hello in the chat. And if you have any questions along the way, if I can't answer them, we will figure out the answer in our Book Marketing Pro Academy coaching that we do. So hope you will join us there at bookmarketingproacademy.com. So today we're talking about the not so pretty side of publishing, the scams, the predators, and the offers that sound amazing until they aren't. Hi, Crystal and Kathy. Good to see you today. And funny that Crystal just sent me one. I'm going to give you that example today. So I met a woman at the Asheville Christian Writers Conference, and she was telling me her story, and it was actually quite awful. As a first-time author, she was contracted by a company offering to make her book into a movie, and the proposal sounded amazing. We will adapt your story. We're going to write the screenplay. We're going to pitch it. It's going to be phenomenal. And she paid tens of thousands of dollars to this company who said that they were going to make her book into a movie. When she started asking for examples of the past work, they would just simply send a photoshopped movie poster. And she later learned that they had approached dozens of authors with the same pitch, and none of them had a film in production. And she lost tens of thousands of dollars before realizing it was a common scam. We do not want that to happen to you. And I kid you not, almost every day we get a call, my husband, because his phone number is on the link or on our business, people trying to sell us something, trying to make us into a movie, trying to make us into a bestseller. So many scams out there. So we're going to dive into today the three biggest categories where authors are being taken advantage of. So the first place is the publishing scams that are out there. They are predatory, both hybrid and so-called traditional publishers. One of the biggest hooks scammers use is the promise of guaranteed publication. They love to tell you, we love your book, we want to publish your story, but then they follow it up with a hefty price tag, even though they say that they are traditional. And so we need to really understand that term traditional. So let me be clear. Legitimate traditional publishers do not charge authors for editing, cover design, ISBNs, illustrations, distribution, marketing. They don't charge. They actually pay you because they then get to own your content. They're going to invite you to submit your manuscript, and then they send you a contract that requires you to pay thousands of dollars for your own editing, your marketing. And there are many houses out there that are notorious for it. So some of the examples that you may hear from these types of traditional publishers are, we love your book, you just need to invest in the editing and marketing to get started. The reality is you're going to pay thousands for poor services and minimal distribution. In fact, one of the most horribly recognized editing services is called Author Solutions. Just Google it and you'll see their track record. They are one of them. They will give you horrible editing services. They'll say like, we'll make you an Amazon bestseller for $5,000 or $10,000. And then they use shady tactics that often violate Amazon's rules and then get you banned from it. They have hidden fees, so they'll get you to sign, and then they're going to hit you with mandatory marketing fees that you never even saw coming. So here are some red flags to look for if you are looking to publish and you have one of these publishing houses come and talk to you. The red flags are they have a generic acceptance letter with no feedback. If they don't ask to see your manuscript, they are predatory. And actually read your manuscript before you actually go into print or the editing. They have high pressure sales tactics. They have vague deals, big packages with no clear deliverables. And there are different places where you can check. I'm actually going to put the list in Book Marketing Pro Academy's Facebook group so you can look at that list. But the easiest way is really Google their name with the word scam, and you'll be surprised what you find. I did that today for Crystal, and it was pretty amazing. All right. The next category is fake marketing and book fair promises. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how many authors send me a text, give me a quick call and tell me and ask me, are these legit? What's happening here? So this next category is all about those shiny marketing opportunities that are more about taking your money than promoting your book. So they pay to play, basically. Their marketing often exaggerates exposure and inflates their impact. So some examples are like book fairs that are called like the Frankfurt Book Fair, the London Book Fair. The one that I see often is one that is in LA. They have these companies that offer to showcase your book at these huge book fairs for $500 to $2,000. But here's what happens. Your book ends up sitting on a shelf in the back corner with no foot traffic and no sales. They'll tell you things like, we'll get your book into Barnes & Noble. Well, this usually means that it's on an online catalog, which anyone can actually do. And they pitch it like you'll be on the on-store shelves front and center. There's also vanity awards, author awards that have entry fees that you have no idea what the entry fee is going towards. There are legitimate awards that have entry fees that really, maybe they sponsor other authors to go to conferences. Like we do a bunch of those types of awards for our authors because it's helping other authors. But these entry fees, we have no idea what they're doing. They hand out dozens of winners and then they sell you expensive winner packages. So they make vague claims like we'll showcase your book to thousands or no success stories that you can verify. Nobody's out there has actually had success from them. And then they have stock photos of booths and events that don't even actually exist. So how to check? First of all, look up the exhibitor list for that specific fair or expo. Contact the event organizer directly and ask them questions about this particular group that you might be partnering with. Or check independent author reviews or forums. There's lots of information out there if you just go look. Number 3, movie, TV, and agent scams. So Hollywood interest, I mean, that's a dream for some people, right? That's exactly why scammers use it. And here's the reality. Real agents, producers, and studios don't ask you to pay upfront fees. So some examples to look out for are movie option scans. So they'll basically offer to option your story for thousands, but they have no real production contacts. Then there's also people that will contact you that are fake literary agents. They promise a book deal, a film deal, as long as you paid them first. Agents you don't pay agents. Agents get paid if your book sells. They have to do the job. So you don't pay for an agent. An agent is someone who represents you, and they get paid if you do well. There's screenplay coverage services. So they're going to offer you feedback or coverage with no real credentials and no connection to actual studios. So watch for these red flags. Again, they're going to ask you upfront for money. There are no verified credentials and no real online presence. And they have vague promises like, we know people at Netflix. Well, really? So how do you fact check them? There's a bunch of different places you could go to check for film credits. And I'll post those in the Book Marketing Pro Academy Facebook group. There's the query tracker for vetted literary agents. You can make sure that they're actually a real literary agent. And then you can always Google her name plus the word scam and see what comes up, or even Google reviews. So other common scams that you can be aware of. phishing from impersonators. So these are people that pretend to be agents, publishers, or translators, and they use a slightly altered domain name. So they're going to try and get your manuscript or your personal information. Then there are phony literary scouts or agents. So real agents earn their money on commission. They don't charge upfront for access to their network. So make sure if somebody's asking you for money, you need to know what that money is going towards. So here are some ways to fact check any offer. And we just had a few of these come in. So it's really interesting to kind of come up with this list. So here's what you look for. Actually, I'll give you the red flags first. First of all, if they have a Gmail email address, when you get that email, you click on that email and see who is actually sending it, not just the agency or the movie place or the book fair company. Click on it, look at the email. If it is a Gmail, it is not legit. If it has some weird names in it, it is not legit. Usually it has to have, if it's a legit, it would have like ours is redemptionpress.com is our email. If it doesn't come from redemptionpress.com, it's probably not Redemption Press. Then you have vague or hidden fees. So you're paying for stuff, but you don't really know what you're getting for the money. You also have fees that once you pay, it's like, oh, but now you owe this. And now we have to do this. And now we have this fee over here. Oh, you wanted a book cover? Well, that costs more too. There are high pressure sales tactics. It's kind of like being in a, what do you call it? When you like go to a hotel and they like make you sit in that presentation, timeshares. Like, if you feel like you're in a timeshare, you probably are. And then no contract for that. No, there's no contract info, and no that the ownership is kind of hidden. Like you don't really know who actually owns the business. So what do you look for? So that's what the red flags, but what do you look for? Look for things like professional websites with real testimonies, transparent pricing. Here's the price. Here's how much it costs. Here's exactly what you're going to get. Look at their business model. Who do they have running it? Is it real people that you connect with? Verified client success stories. Look at their reviews. If they have bad reviews, it's probably not someone that you want to partner with. And then the willingness to provide references. I was just actually at an event and someone told me that they were getting a traditional contract. And Athena and I immediately were like, go look at their website and see if you want to be associated with that. Like, make sure you do your research before you pay a single penny to anyone or sign any kind of contract. And then read your contracts carefully. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting, who owns the rights. If you are paying for something, whether it's a movie, a screenplay, a book fair, a book deal, if you're paying, you should own the rights. Okay, so how to check. Check for the email addresses. Be suspicious if they use Gmail or another free domain. Legitimate companies have their own. Upfront payments, always ask why they're charging and what you are getting for it, and get it in writing. Website and reviews. Many scammers scrub bad reviews, so Google their name plus the word scam or plus the word fraud, and you'll be able to know a little bit more about their company. Talk to previous clients, ask for references so you can verify. Check LinkedIn or other author groups. You can ask questions in the author groups that you're part of. Look for a domain impersonation. Example, like instead of Macmillan.com, so that's a traditional publishing house, they might say like markmillan.com. So it's really, really close. So make sure that you have these little kind of tricks that they play matter. And check the contract. You may even, depending on what kind of contract you're entering into, get someone to look at it. Maybe it's a lawyer to review the deal, especially if it involves film and licensing. You want to make sure that it is checked. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Legit deals take time and they don't come with upfront payments. If they offer you something on the spot, it is probably too good to be true. All right, so today Crystal and I had a conversation in Messenger about an email that she got, I believe, and it was a an award. And so I went in, and it was so ironic because I was actually putting together the content for today. And so I went in and I did exactly what I'm telling you to do. I went in and I typed their name in, I typed scam, I typed fraud, I typed, is this company legit? And this is what I found out, that they not only charge you to submit, but if you win, they charge you an additional $245 to buy your own trophy, and then $500 to $900 to attend the gala to get your award, and then $65 to get a sticker for your book. This lines up with typical vanity awards where recognition is contingent on purchasing extras like trophies, stickers, or even event tickets. Some of the things they claim is that they accept self-published and traditionally published books. This particular award charges $69 for the entry plus extra fees for additional categories. And it offers a ceremony, ironically enough, in Phoenix, that is also featured on ABC News. Like, they have all of these claims, and perhaps they do it, but you're going to pay a lot of money to be part of it. And it probably is not going to get you any traction. If you are going to do an award, one of the things that I recommend you do is, number one, find out who else has won that award and talk to them. Figure out, did this award help their book? How did they enter? How did they, what happened once they won? What did the winning process and this whole process look like? Did they pay money? What did the money go for? Go to the website, find out what the money goes for that they are paying. So when we enter awards, we enter 2 for our authors. Our editors will recommend the books that get entered into an award place, the award systems. And so we do the CELA Awards, which is offered at Blue Ridge Christian Writers Conference. And then we also do PennCon, which is the editing awards. We win every year. We have a good size amount of winners. They are legitimate awards. They are not vanity. They're not voted on. They are actually read, and there's a rubric that the judges go through to see which books are actually best. It's not a popularity contest. And then we also are very careful, like, what does the money go to? Because we have to pay a fee for every single book that we enter. And so those books, those entrance fees, actually goes to help other authors attend their conference. So it's a scholarship fund. So it's a great way to have recognition, to be in a legitimate award, and to help other authors. So here we go. Some things that you need to do when you get one of these predatory offers, or if you're not sure. You need to ask bold questions. Also, trust your gut. Trust, if it feels off, it probably is. Remember that no legitimate publisher, agent, or film producer are ever going to charge you upfront fees. If you want to make your book into a film and you want to partner with an indie film organization, then you vet the organization. They're probably not going to call you. You need to reach out to them. And then be part of a vetted community like bookmarketingpro.com, like other types of author communities where you really feel the people there, like 540 Club with Becky. It's a very legit, it's Christian run. It is, the people that are there are wanting the very best for you, because those are some of the things that are going to help you be protected. So make sure that those are the ways that you approach these emails and phone calls that you get. Scrutinize every offer, question anyone asking you for money up front, research deeply, Google, forums, industry networks. Always talk to references, and never sign anything without professional reviews. So let's protect ourselves and our fellow authors by staying vigilant, staying informed, and keeping connected, because we can help each other get our message out there, because our message matters, because the gospel matters. And so we want to see your book go far, but we want to see it go far in a way that will help you as an author get your message out and not get you into a place where you are taken advantage of. So that was a lot of information. There is so much more we could talk about. We can do that in one of our coaching sessions if you want to, as we meet together on Zoom, and we will continue to have these conversations to keep our books and our messages out there. You are very welcome, and it was great popping in with you today for our industry update.